Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've been looking to talk about the Fantastic Four movie for a while, and a day or so ago they released a new trailer for it. So what I'm going to do is going to take a look at the trailer. I have not watched this yet. I saw the first trailer that they released a few months ago, and I have some issues and stuff that we'll talk about in a minute. So I'm going to comment on some things I'm looking forward to in this movie, and some things which really concern me about this movie. But let's take a look at the trailer, and I might pause it at a few points and we'll talk about it. So let's take a look.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head off into space and come back forever changed.
I'm liking the 60s vibe.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can
Very
never repay
retro.
them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Okay, so far I'm liking the retro look of this movie. So this is obviously the 4th incarnation, ironically, of the Fantastic Four. It's the first family of Marvel, and as I'm sure most of you watching know this. So they're a superhero. I remember reading Fantastic Four comics when I was growing up, and they weren't my favorite superheroes, but I liked them a lot. And it's kind of sad that every 10 years or so they try to make a new Fantastic Four movie, and they never get it right. Basically, the Fantastic Four rights are back with Marvel, and you'd think they'd be the ones to get it right. So far, like I said, I'm looking the vibe of this movie, but I have concerns about the casting, which we'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, let's continue.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking?
I like the look of the thing.
Okay. That is fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world.
This is very Guardians of the Galaxy type of humor.
You're out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing's going to change.
I like Vanessa Kirby. Good actress, but she plays a lot of girl bosses.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Here's a Silver Surfer.
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space.
This looks like a remake of Rise of the Silver Surfer, the second Fantastic Four movie, which was released from Fox nearly 20 years ago. So far, it's basically a remake, except that they've gender swapped the Silver Surfer. Of course they did, because it's modern day Marvel. And it looks like this trailer is playing pretty much the same beats as the trailer for that movie, which came out back in the day. I remember going to see it. That Rise of the Silver Surfer movie was actually the only decent Fantastic Four movie that was ever made. I know it's a low bar, but anyway, let's continue.
And they heard.
Yeah, it's a remake.
Are we safe? I don't know.
Okay, as I'm sure most of you know, Pedro Pascal, I'm sure not in the minority in thinking this, that he's terrible casting as Reed Richards. In the comics, Reed Richards, he's one of the most intelligent human beings in the Marvel Universe. And also, he's not Mexican. And I remember reading somewhere that some insiders at Marvel figured they could cast Pedro Pascal because he's quote-unquote white enough, whatever that means. But yeah, like everyone else, I'm sure I'm not the only one saying this, I'm sick of seeing this actor in every single movie I see. I'm exaggerating, of course, but he seems to be in everything. Whether it's movies, television, voice work. I mean, the other night I saw this trailer for this animated movie called The Wild Robot, and it said, voices, Pedro Pascal. He's the Mandalorian, he's everywhere. There's just no avoiding him. And I won't say that he's a terrible actor as such, it's just that he's overexposed. You know, I just don't get Hollywood's obsession with him. But anyway, let's continue.
There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face
Galactus.
it together. We will fight it together. As a family.
Okay, it seems that every superhero movie I see these days, if it's a big team-up movie, there's always a point in every trailer where they say something like, "We do this together, as a family." I've seen it so many times now. It's just so generic. It's just so overplayed. What I'm seeing here is not offensive, so to speak, besides some of the bad casting. It just looks very generic. What I do like is the look of the costumes. They've gotten the costumes right from the 60s. And I do like the 60s setting. That really sets it apart from all the other screen incarnations of the Fantastic Four. But besides that, from what I can see here, the story looks very generic. And it's basically a remake of the Coming of Galactus story from the comics. But anyway, let's continue.
Has to be us.
Good effects. But some of these shots look like they're directly taken from the trailer of Rise of the Silver Surfer. I mean, I'll probably throw up a comparison here, but that shot there of Vanessa Kirby with her powers is almost identical to the one of Jessica Alba playing the Invisible Woman from the Fantastic Four movies back in the day. It's almost identical.
Protect you.
There's Galactus. Okay, that's it. So, my concerns for this movie are pretty much the same for this new Superman movie. I mean, they look like they have the same vibe. Very light-hearted, which is not a bad thing, but just play it out. Just very generic. Here are my concerns. First of all, Pedro Pascal as Reed. As I said, terrible casting. Especially when they already had John Krasinski. I mean, he made an appearance in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and they killed him off. Supposedly, he was from another universe, so he doesn't count. John Krasinski would have been perfect as Reed, and bring in his wife, Emily Blunt, to play the Invisible Woman. Perfect. It would have been perfect, but it's modern-day Marvel. Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman. Now, I like Vanessa Kirby as an actress. I mean, she's very good in the Mission Impossible movies, but she has this tendency to play girl bosses in every single thing that she does. She was in that awful Hobbs and Shaw Fast and Furious movie where she played this unstoppable girl boss. And what was the name of that movie with Joaquin Phoenix? The Napoleon movie. The Napoleon movie was really mainly about her. Again, so a good actress, but she just plays very quote-unquote strong women. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's supposed to be set in the 60s where women were more, and I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, more demure. But I get the impression with this movie that they're going to make her the leader of the team, you know, because for one thing, Pedro Pascal is a cuck. He is in real life. I'm sure some of you might have seen that footage from Comic-Con last year where he was on stage with her. He was holding her hand and she looked like, she was holding his hand like he was a lost little boy. He just looks like a weakling, you know what I mean? He's not a strong male character at all. And again, I'm not saying that Pedro Pascal is a terrible actor. I mean, he's just there. With Vanessa Kirby, with her presence, I think she's going to be the main character of this movie. I mean, that's been reported in some forms of media over the last year or so since this movie was announced. So yeah, I don't think Marvel have really learned anything from the last few years, that the audience for these movies is mostly male. I don't think they learned any lessons from Deadpool and Wolverine besides, oh, lots of cameos, that'll be cool. The story looks very generic. It looks like a remake of Rise of the Silver Surfer. The other thing is, for the quote-unquote first Fantastic Four movie that Marvel themselves are doing, it's too soon to do the Galactus story. You know, that's something that you build up to. They really should be introducing Doctor Doom, who is going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. in the next two Avengers movies. Doing Galactus first, it's like bringing Thanos into the first Avengers movie. That would be going too fast. So they really should be introducing Doctor Doom, or just basically start this particular Fantastic Four movie series with a different villain. It doesn't have to be Doom. It doesn't have to be Galactus. It doesn't have to be the Silver Surfer. They could have chosen the Mole Man or some other Marvel villain. The other thing that concerns me is what was reported in the media in the last 2 weeks of Vanessa Kirby and the actor who plays Johnny Storm, I can't remember his name, they were saying that this movie is going to explore gender politics. It's going to explore women's place in the world, and Vanessa Kirby, like I said, she's going to be the girl boss. She's going to turn out to be the leader. She's going to be the woman leading the team in a man's world, something like that. And the character of Johnny Storm in the comics, and as portrayed by Chris Evans in the old Fantastic Four movies, is a womanizer. He's a playboy. And the actor who plays Johnny Storm here, he said that he's basically not going to be playing Johnny Storm as a womanizer. He said that's not sexy anymore. The very fact that Johnny Storm is a womanizer means that he's attractive to women, right? So what's wrong with portraying him that way? I mean, it's just weird, and it just puts me off. Not even sure if I'll watch this movie in theaters. I'm sure I'll catch up with it eventually on streaming if I don't go see it at the cinema. Yeah, overall, it looks inoffensive enough. It could turn out to be the best Fantastic Four movie ever made, but let's face it, that's a very low bar. Although, I have to say, I'd say a lot of people are nostalgic for the Fantastic Four movies that came out in the 2000s, the ones with Jessica Alba. Just look at this trailer alone, I wouldn't be so concerned, but based on what some of the actors have said, based on Marvel's track record, I do not have much hope for this movie. I think at best it'll be inoffensive fun, because sometimes actors say things which are just on their minds, which has no effect on the movie itself. I mean, just to switch franchises for a second, I nearly avoided the TV series Andor based on what some of the actors said, that show was a Trump allegory, that the Emperor represented Trump. Later on, when I heard that Andor was very good, I came back to it and I really enjoyed it. It turned out what the actors said had nothing to do with the show. So I'm hoping what Vanessa Kirby and the Human Torch actor have said is just basically woke nonsense. I think this movie will turn out to be inoffensive fun at best. But the other thing is, Doctor Doom is going to appear in the Avengers movies, and I would be very, very surprised if Robert Downey Jr. does not make an appearance at the end as Doctor Doom in a post-credit scene, because the relationship between Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards is a central part of the Fantastic Four lore, so to speak. So yeah, that's my reaction to the Fantastic Four trailer. What do you think? Do you think this movie is going to be good, or do you think it's going to be a woke disaster like most Marvel projects over the last few years? Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, share this video out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.